Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast, Danish edition.
Danish edition, or should we say, hi, welcome? No.
No, you're trying to get it?
No, I do not want to try again.
All right. So, Martin, you have brought us two Danish beers.
Two Danish beers.
From not well-known Danish breweries, I would say.
No, I was thinking, I don't think we've reviewed either of these breweries on the show.
No. When you think of Danish breweries, you think, of course, of Mikkeller. You think of maybe Dry and Bitter because they were in the news quite a bit last year. You think of maybe Gamma or Amager or Amaya.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I can't think of another one, but I'm sure there's others that I'm blanking on at the moment.
Definitely.
Flying Couch maybe. Too old. Yeah, definitely too old. But here we have Caleidoskope and BrygBrygBryg.
Yes. We're going to start with the Caleidoskope, right?
Yeah.
So this is apparently a collab with Swedish brewery Akia.
Yeah, and Akia we've reviewed Akia on the show before.
Yeah, they're not our favorites, but we don't hate them.
No, they're really a good middle of the road brewery. They're going to have some highs. They're going to have probably a few more lows.
Yeah,
but they're worth trying out from time to time.
Exactly. And our suspicion is that this beer was made once in Sweden and once in Denmark, because there seem to be two entries floating around with vastly differing can art. And this one says product of Denmark.
I would say this one is definitely the Danish version because it has contact Caleidoskope brewing on the side and product of Denmark. And it was canned on May 18th, and it's good until May 18th of next year.
Nice. Which
you should never keep for that long.
No. So what beer style was this actually?
I'm guessing IPA or double IPA, somewhere in that range, because it's only 5.8%, so technically IPA.
It's New England, yeah.
It's a New England IPA, so a hazy IPA.
Exactly. Yeah. Looks pretty yellow.
Yeah, it smells very hoppy. I mean, there's some nice hop nose on one on there. It doesn't say what the hops are.
Let me try another glass.
Oh, you don't think so? Yeah.
That one only smelled like vanilla.
Oh, okay. From a previous
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
That glass was not very very good.
Getting a lot of vanilla notes on this. I'm like, really? I don't get any vanilla at all. That's interesting.
It's a quite mellow hop aroma.
Yeah, which is kind of what I'd expect at a 5.8%, and it's not double dry hopped or something like that. So it's going to be probably, I guess it's going to be very pleasant, very much all around C+, B- kind of beer, if I had to guess.
I think so too.
All right. Well, cheers.
Cheers. Let's try it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really bitter. Surprisingly bitter.
The bitterness kind of works together with the carbonation to give you a double punch.
What little carbonation there is.
Yeah, but what I mean is the feeling of carbonation.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being fooled by the bitterness.
I say this has a very bitter finish, but not a lot else. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like there's really no reason that this is an unfiltered beer or a hazy IPA, other than it's just easier and cheaper to do than it is to make a filtered beer at this point.
Probably.
Because there's nothing, the haze doesn't really add anything other than just a murkiness to it. And otherwise, it's a very middle of the road.
Definitely. I only really get hop flavors when I swirl the beer around in my mouth. Then when I stop, it kind of goes, meh.
I only really get hot flavors when I smell it.
Yeah. maybe this could be a good gateway beer into.
I don't know. It's so bitter.
Yeah.
I don't know that a lot of people would be kind of like, that's what I want.
Maybe not.
I would really go. I mean, I would rather this was just a pale ale.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a much more interesting and probably better flavored beer. There's just not a lot Not a lot to love about this one, unfortunately.
No, it's not very fun. Maximum a 3.
Yeah, I'll go 3. Like the middle of the road. I would definitely drink it, but it's not something I think I would reach for again anytime soon.
I completely agree. Next beer is a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
So it's from BrygBrygBryg. It's a recent release at Systembolaget, and it's called Temple 2022.
Yes, and this is a farmhouse saison with honey and blackcurrant, aged for 14 months in red wine barrels, and it comes in at a 7.8% ABV.
And the fun thing about BrygBrygBryg, so they released a number of beers at Systembolaget the last couple of years, I would say.
Yeah.
But also some ciders and like a Lichtenheiner. They do some weird stuff. I know you like.
Have we not? I like the novelty of Lichtenheiner. I don't think it's like a style that I've ever been like, finally, a Lichtenheiner, a smoky, salty beer. Yum.
Exactly.
But I do like the novelty of it, and I
Yes.
like it whenever we can get our hands on one because it's just such a crazy ass beer style.
Yes.
I think we've reviewed 3 of them on the show so far.
Lichtenheiners.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, which is I didn't even know that you could get that. There was that many.
But my introduction to BrygBrygBryg was at the Danish beer bar, Lambic Bar, which is now closed permanently, 1420, where so 1420 was known for their deep lambic cellar, like good bottles and stuff. But they always had beer on tap,
Yeah,
and there was like it could have been 10 taps.
Yeah.
And the first 3 were always BrygBrygBryg. Like BrygBrygBryg elderflower, BrygBrygBryg cherry, whatever. And then you got to like Girardin 4-year unblended lambic.
Boone Vat something.
Yes,
or,
always some Boone Vat.
Yeah.
And then like Cantillon Creek, you go, what? So, but the brewers were friends of the owners of 1420. But those beers were really good. Maybe they were good because they were in such a good setting. Like maybe it elevated that.
Could be. It can also be that it was just a little fresher, and maybe they were saving the better stuff for
the bar,
for the local crowd as opposed to the export crowd.
That is very possible.
Yeah, I will say, just pouring this beer, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. This is just clean. You can see through the glass. It is just a beautiful looking. Like dark brown color.
Yeah.
It just looks quite beautiful. The light catches it just wonderfully. There's a little bit of carbonation on the head still.
And it's keeping.
It's keeping that little ring going on there. Just the look of it says, man, this is a very well done beer.
Yes. And what's caught my eye is on Untapped, they specify that this was limited to 411 of these small bottles.
Yeah, this is a 375 bottle.
Yes. 4 magnums and 2 20-liter key kegs. It's very seldom that you get the exact number of like magnums and key kegs. But that's kind of fun. With some beers, you hear, limited to 100 bottles. And then all of a sudden, at festivals, they have kegs and they have weird magnums. You go, but wasn't this limited to 100 bottles? Yeah, that we released.
Yeah.
Come on. Tell us the truth.
This has definitely, you can smell like it was aged on something. There's a bit of that woody, kind of tannic notes to it.
Definitely. I just smelling it, I'm getting the feeling that this would be really sour.
I think the honey's going to come through pretty strong on this one.
Exciting.
All right.
Let's try it. Cheers.
Yeah, this isn't really sour at all. This is really very, as you would say, vinous.
Yeah, definitely.
Very wine-like.
The honey almost kind of competes with the beer.
Like the honey really comes in on the front. Kind of, that's got some honey, little, not really sweet, but just kind of you taste the honey part on the front end, I think.
It almost fools my taste buds into thinking that we have a barrel-aged imperial stout in our glass.
And
it's giving me two really conflicting feelings.
Because in the aftertaste is you get the the red wine part. I think pretty strong. Which surprisingly, not a lot of blackcurrant.
No.
Usually blackcurrant flavored beers are kind of a lot.
Maybe they had the blackcurrant in before it went on barrels.
Could
so
be.
It's 14-month-old blackcurrants, which would have faded a bit.
Yeah.
That might also be intentional.
Yeah. I think the overall flavor and mouthfeel is quite nice. I think it's really, really pleasant. It's a really well made beer.
What really tricks me up is the label of this Japanese kind of dojo temple. But I'm almost getting like rose petals in the flavor, which are nowhere near the beer.
No.
I think I'm just looking at a pink label and
You're
my
thinking,
mind just goes, oh, Honorable Bushido, this has to be like rose petals or cherry blossom or something.
Yeah, and the beer itself has that kind of look to it, so I can definitely see where your mind would tend to wander that way.
There is like a floral side taste that doesn't exist at all in the aroma.
Yeah, this is quite nice. I'll definitely keep an eye out for more of the big sours.
I've actually changed your perception of this brewery.
Well, I'm just saying I'm willing to give them more of a chance than I have in the past.
That's a change. Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
The things they've released at Systembolaget have really been hit or miss for me. Mm-hmm. I just keep going back to them because I know what I've tried on kegs. Mm-hmm. So like they can do it. Just come on, do it again. Yeah,
I have some breweries like that where I'm just kind of like, look, guys, I know you're better than what you're putting out.
Yes,
try harder. You have it in you. I've tried your good stuff.
I might give this a 4.
I think this is easily a 4. I mean, if you were to give it 45, I would not blame you. For me, it's just a solid 4.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I wouldn't say it's cold, but I think as it warms up, the bouquet is going to open more on this. I think you're going to get more of the wine character is going to come through. And it's got a lot of wine character already.
But you're right, it's pouring really neat.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. And I don't see any, maybe there's some dregs at the very, very bottom, but it doesn't look like it.
I doubt it. We've poured and set it down and poured and set it down.
Yeah, it would
that
be
usually agitates.
Yeah, no, but it's pouring very, very clean still, and we're almost at the bottom of the small bottle. The carbonation is just so beautiful on this thing. It really is a very inviting looking beer and very rewarding at the same time. So I think 4 for both of us.
Yeah.
Excellent choice. Thanks. So we can find us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you can find podcasts in the world.
Ancient cave drawings have like a mammoth and then 2 nerds with like glasses in their
Yes,
hands.
2 bearded nerds with glasses drinking beer.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So until next time.
Keep drinking it, dum-dums.